After 20 years of helping people get healthy and lose weight to reach their business goals or whatever goal they're after, I've noticed one specific thing that determines if they maintain it or not. So, we're going to discuss the hidden root of sabotage and how to overcome it so that we can quit going around the mountain and hit our goals and maintain them. My name is Kristen Kahns. My heart for making these videos is to inspire you to take action in your life and become the fullness of who you've been created to be. So if that interests you, like, subscribe, and leave me a comment below. I'd love to hear your thoughts. So why is it that most people don't ever manage to reach their goals? And if they do, they can't maintain the results. Kind of drift back to where they started. Believe me, I am right there with you all. I can definitely relate to this. In fact, every video that I create is created because I've struggled in these areas, and it's usually the fact that I've had to learn the hard way. So I pray that you don't have to, and that's why I create these videos, so I can hopefully speed up your success and your progress. So back in my teens and 20s, I was on a diet roller coaster. So I was gaining weight, I was losing weight, and I knew what to do. And I could help anyone to lose the weight, but what is required to maintain those results? That is the question. Now, I'm using weight loss as an example, but you can apply this to any area of life that you are feeling that you're self-sabotaging yourself. Self-sabotage can start anywhere in the process of a goal. So it can prevent us from even starting. It can happen as we are attaining the goal, so right in the middle of it, and it can happen after we achieve a goal. And that's where I've noticed in myself and with many of my clients that the stage of attaining the goal is when the self-sabotage starts to really show itself. And when people finally reach that goal and then they start self-sabotaging, you wonder why. I was so fascinated by this, because why in the world would we work so hard to get what we wanted and then start going backwards again, only to wind up losing what we have gained and then starting the process all over again? So there are lots of symptoms that lead us to losing the territory that we've gained. This could look many different ways depending on the person, but the root of why we self-sabotage, of why we can't maintain the goals that we've reached, is our identity. It's how we see ourselves. So going back to the weight loss example, if you lose the weight, but deep inside, you still think of yourself as overweight, as unworthy, as not good enough, you will subconsciously make decisions to match what you truly believe about yourself. Although consciously, you want more than anything to maintain that weight. You've worked so hard. So it's not about the diet. It's not about your body, your hormones, the perfect exercise. It's about your relationship with yourself. The most important relationship you have in the world is your relationship with yourself. Because if you don't value who God has created you to be, you can't tap into the greatness that He has built inside you. And you can't really truly honor God if you don't value yourself, because God created you. So you are subconsciously saying, I don't like what you created. So I want you to hear this. There's nothing wrong with you. This is a part of the process. This is normal. We all have these thoughts and these struggles. So we just embrace it and we learn. This is the journey of life. Seeing what you're made of, growing through those obstacles, learning to become comfortable in the uncomfortable, We can't grow unless we get uncomfortable, and we can't grow unless we become aware. So we might be willing to get physically uncomfortable to lose the weight, but are we willing to go a step further and to really identify the thoughts that we have about ourselves? What do you actually think of yourself? Have you asked yourself that? So this does take some work, but it is the key to reaching and maintaining the results in your life. We can't love and serve others if we don't first value ourselves. So the goal of personal development is not self. Many people think that that's the goal. It's just all about yourself. It's really about being obedient with becoming our authentic self to impact the world in a way that only you can. There's only one you. So we don't get what we want in life, we get who we are. Okay? Did you hear that? We don't get what we want in life, we get who we are. So unless we've done the work to up level ourselves, to grow and pull out that greatness that's within, we'll never be able to maintain our results. We'll keep chasing strategy after strategy. So here are a few practical things that I do to help myself to really keep me focused on my goals and to keep me focused on my identity. So the first thing that I do is I remind myself who I am. And of course, I am a daughter of the Most High God. We all know that, but sometimes we need something a little more personal. Who am I? And I do this by declaring what I call an identity statement. So an identity statement is just 2 to 3 sentences that describes the meaning of my name, of your name. So your first and your middle name. So God named each one of us, and it's a big factor in our identity because our names are a promise of God. So I declare my identity statement over myself to align myself with his promises over me. So the second thing that I do is I ask myself a few questions to make sure that I'm operating out of my future self, the person that I'm becoming. All right. Because if I keep taking the same actions as I have in the past, I'm going to stay stuck as my past self, not as my authentic self that I want to be. So I ask myself, who would I be if I were effortlessly achieving that goal or maintaining that goal? And this is where you just get curious. Who do I need to be? And we're not trying to be anything that we're not, but we are realizing that God has given us already exactly what we need. So if you struggle with this question because it's personalized, you might first start out asking yourself, how would a person act or show up that is maintaining their weight or building a business? How would that millionaire show up? All right, whatever your goal is. So sometimes when you think about someone else having success, it brings clarity. You're like, oh, a millionaire would do this, this, and this. Oh, someone who's maintaining their weight would do this, this, and this. But as soon as you ask yourself what you would do, you like kind of freeze. You're like, I don't know. What's the strategy? What do I do? And you start going and looking for the answer. So ask yourself, what would a person do if they were trying to maintain the results or reach this goal? And this is this is what our brains do. It does it to protect us. So sometimes we have to kind of get a little sneaky and ask questions a different way to get us to get the answer. So write down these attributes and then personalize it by asking, how would I show up if I were effortlessly achieving and maintaining that goal? How can I be that version of myself now? So that's how you operate out of your future self. How can I be that version of myself now? Maybe I'm still in the process of losing that weight, but I can pretend, hey, I'm maintaining that weight. And you can also ask yourself, how can my actions lead me to being that version of myself right now that I want to? So, for example, if I am maintaining my weight loss, I would take a walk or I'd be active in some way. I'd plan out what I'm going to eat for the day. And I wouldn't do anything extreme. Okay. So I'd play the long game and I would just be consistent. So I'd also, if I were that person, I'd be thankful for what I've achieved. And I'd be thankful for who I am, for how miraculous my body is. So you get the picture, all right? So write down these things and rehearse them to stay focused on them. So we are shifting our identity, what we believe about ourselves, and shifting that into who we are becoming. And remember, you are valuable now. You are valuable just the way you are. We're not trying to fix ourselves. We're not trying to change ourselves. We're not even trying to improve ourselves. We're discovering who we really are by digging deep and seeing what's in there. You're exploring all the greatness that's already inside of you. You're on a journey to become the best version of yourself. So if you're struggling with self sabotage, take some time to identify how you view yourself. Create that identity statement and ask yourself those questions and create declarations from your answers to keep yourself on track and shift your perspective on your identity. This is a big root to why you're not moving forward. And as you do this work, you will gain more clarity, you'll gain more confidence, and you'll start to reach goal after goal. And you'll start going up the mountain instead of around and around the mountain. So I bless you all. And if this content resonated with you, leave me a comment below, like, subscribe, just to get this out to those that need it. I'll talk to you guys soon. Bye.